Hola, ¿cómo estás? Y bienvenidos through the glass table. Yo soy Everett Walker.
Y yo soy... Bad Spanish, by the way. Ismael.
And today we'll be reviewing, we always say this is one of the most highly anticipated movies of the year, Avengers.
Infinity War. It's finally here. After 10 years of teasing, pleasing, wrecking, and rushing Everett, Thanos finally shows his face for longer than 2 seconds in Avengers Infinity Wars. There are so many people I don't have time to mention them all, except a small mention, Peter Dinklage. He's in the movie. Oops, spoiler alert. Nope, he's on the poster, bitch.
Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to do a quick little review. For the people who don't want to hear spoilers, we're going to do a quick little overview because we really want to get into this. This is 10 years in the making, and it would be stupid for us to not be able to talk. So we'll warn you when we start getting into spoilers. So take it away.
Okay, so overview. What did you think overall?
Oh, this movie was horrible.
Oh, horrible.
No, I'm just playing with it. This movie was...
That's like your catchphrase.
Yeah. Or a piece of shit.
A piece of shit.
It's crazy to me because I can't judge it on the stuff that I didn't like, and there is stuff that I didn't like, but it's hard for me to judge it solely on that because this is something that's never been done before.
True.
So it's sort of like, I don't have any criteria to say they didn't do right. It's just some parts didn't feel like a movie. But overall, from beginning to end, where we get to at the end of the movie, I thought this movie was pretty fucking great.
Yeah, I have to agree. I actually enjoyed myself this one because Age of Ultron, I didn't really.
Yeah, even Civil War. I think we did a discussion of that, and we both said how we were kind of underwhelmed by that.
Yeah, and so, but especially Age of Ultron, I don't know why. I think it was just the lack of like goals and stuff.
And there's no consequences
at all.
At all.
But this one, it felt finally like something that they were aimed for, and they finally hit it.
Yeah.
Because it's just a clear baddie from the very beginning, and what the goal is, the whole purpose, why they're there. Everything is kind of explained already. When I think it's unfair because it is a war. So how far can you not? I mean, how far can't you stray from just doing or saying the right thing?
Yeah. Also, too, it's just in its own thing. It's just like everyone's together, and so I think even if this movie was like absolutely horrible, it's still. I hate to sound like the people that I make fun of all the time, but it's so fucking cool to see all these people together on one screen interacting with each other. It's crazy to think that this started with a one-off movie with fucking Robert Downey Jr. at the end of his career.
They didn't know. They didn't know
Yeah,
it was going to do that well, but it blew up, and then the market was like, "We gotta get on this."
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's so interesting that how all the other movies are kind of different, but just the little elements and the little puzzles make this one.
Yeah.
It's just like that's never been done. This whole universe thing, the cinematic universe thing, has never been really done.
No. I guess what I would say is the worst parts of these movies is that it's so many people, and it's so much that they want you to care about, but it just isn't. There's not enough time for it, and everything was a little disjointed. I'll say the first hour and a half, because I'm just like, why are we here with this person? And then they give you like a good chunk of time with these people, but then all of a sudden forget that we're somewhere else for a long chunk of time. To me, it was just like no interplay. And so
I can't think of another way they could have done that though.
Yeah, because it's just like the premise is that you have to show everyone, so it's like they showed everybody,
and if they get away with it because it fits in the context that this is a war.
Yeah,
war is fought on multiple fronts, and But I get what you're saying, because if you really think about it, how the story is set, there's 3 groups. Or 3 groups of the Avengers, kind of like, and they're all in their separate battling little stages and stuff.
Each with their own separate storylines.
Kind of, kind of. But I found the most interesting one to be Thanos and like the Guardians ones. Yeah,
Thanos in particular, because this movie is really the worst parts of every Marvel movie that I hate. It's the Infinity Stones. I don't care about that. It's Thanos. I don't fucking care about that. But they managed to make me like Thanos a little bit, because I kind of get where he was coming from. Not that I'm. We'll talk about spoilers later, but not that I'm agreeing with what his goal was, but
you can understand.
Yeah, he's not just a
crazy
bad guy.
He's not.
Yeah, there's a goal in his head that makes sense to him for why he's doing what he's doing.
All right, so we've gotten to the part where let's score. We said we're gonna do a quick one, so
Yeah. So overall, you guys will have so much fun. It's worth spending all these years watching these movies to lead up to this. This was probably the best of the ensemble movies of this. I would give it a 3.5 out of 4.
5.
4.5 out of 5. It's a sight to be seen, y'all. What would you give the movie? It's been a while.
I give it a 4. I saw it 4 out of 5. Yeah, it touched on everything. There's so much cohesion in it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, whoa, what's going on? So yeah, 4 out of 5.
Okay. So now we're gonna get into spoilers. Look down here. We'll put the time. You can skip here. I guess you don't have to because we finished the review, so that didn't make any sense. We're gonna talk about spoilers now.
Do that again.
So we finished the review. Now we're gonna talk about spoilers. Turn this off if you don't want to know nothing, but you should have quit your job and went to go see the movie already. So
I know you've been waiting 10 years for this motherfucking
Jesus
movie.
Christ.
Hello.
Get on it. Suck some dick to get a movie ticket if you have to.
Jesus Christ.
So Ismail, let's talk about the movie in depth.
All right, let's talk about it.
Here we are.
Finally.
10 years. I think
10 years.
we've both seen I've never seen Thor 1 and 2, but I've seen every other movie.
Yeah, I've seen everything.
You've seen everything.
I've seen every film.
It's amazing to me how it still retains it still retains the character of each of the characters, if that makes sense. Like the feeling of their movies in this movie. Because to me, I felt like when Captain America showed up, it felt like the same feeling from Civil War.
Oh.
And then, the Wakanda. Jesus. I don't like that movie. And then, then you have Thor and the fun. I think the most the most concise example of what I'm trying to say is like when we get to the Guardians, and then that felt like a Guardians movie. So it was like they understood that these characters have their own distinct, ways of going about how they are. And I thought that was interesting and impressive how they all melded that together.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing the same people on screen for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's just like they pretty much got it down to what their characters and who their characters are and like their moods and what their goals and strengths are. So I think putting them all in a room is like a mosaic painting, an impression painting, because it all flows together because this is what they've been doing.
Yep.
But
you could easily fuck that mosaic up by putting hot pink in it, and they like almost perfectly.
There are moments where there's hot pink, but but you step back and you say the bigger picture. It's like you this is why they made the other films.
And then what would you say are the hot pink moments of this movie?
Well, for one, because of the structure of the film, it does get boring.
Yeah.
So the hot pink moments are it's the pacing. But I don't think you can make a great, paced Marvel film anymore.
What I wish... okay, so here's what's happening. They're all trying to do different goals. The Guardians and Thor are trying... Well, the Guardians are going to see...
Guardians are trying to locate one of the stones. Nowhere.
Yeah.
So they were trying to locate one of the stones nowhere.
And then Thor is going to get his hammer.
Thor is going to go get a weapon, yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 storylines already. In that Guardian storyline, Gamora knows about where the Soul Stone is, so that's a 3rd storyline.
Yeah.
Then within that, there's a storyline of her and Thanos and their personal relationship, which I wish had more time. I thought that was probably one of the most interesting parts about his character and her too, was seeing how they interacted, and it was kind of sad to see like he really did love her when he had to sacrifice her.
Selfish kind of love though, because
but it wouldn't have worked if he didn't really love her.
I don't know.
But yeah, I forgot where I was going. Oh, okay, so that's 4 storylines. Then we also have Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. on a spaceship doing something.
And then you have freaking Captain America and Black Panther.
Yeah. But then also you have Bucky, who has a short little storyline.
Well, I group them all in with the Wakandans.
Okay, so that's 6. That's 6 altogether. Then you have, the fucking Vision and Haley Joel Osment or whatever that bitch name is.
Her name is Elizabeth.
I don't care.
Osment.
They don't need to be in this movie.
Olsen.
I will say that. I think that if out of all of them, if anyone needed to be cut at their storyline, I didn't care about it. I just like why are we here again? I didn't like them in Civil War either.
Okay.
But that's 7. Then there's the overall. Is you got to stop Thanos. That's 8 storylines. Am I missing anything?
I mean, there's so many things.
I'm trying to think.
There's. Who cares? At this point, there's already more than.
The point that I'm trying to show is like they had 8 or 9 storylines to juggle, and I don't think there was a better way they could have juggled it. But then that's the complication of what you're saying is sometimes for me, it was sort of like I was drifting away from the point of everything because we were on something for so long, and I became concentrated, and it was almost like mini movies. And then once that resolved a little bit, then they moved to something completely logically different from the previous scene, and I was like, well, what are we doing? Where are we going? What is the goal? And I think I turned to you and was like, I'm getting bored. I'm getting kind of bored because I don't know where we are. And I think that was the biggest problem in this movie. So the Russo brothers are back.
What did they do? I'm not too familiar with them. I don't really remember them. I don't know.
This is it. They've only done Marvel movies. They did, the first one was Winter Soldier.
Which you love.
Yeah, which I absolutely loved. And then they did Civil War. That's it. And now this. It was okay. Their direction was okay.
For something like this, I don't think grandiose is what you should go for.
Or not,
keep
not
it
a personal,
simple and to the point.
You don't need a personal flair for this because there's so much going on.
There's so much going on. Like, just give me the basics and a nice fucking everything, and we'll be fine. Which I think they did.
Yeah.
I don't think I wasn't expecting too much of this film, to tell you the truth, because I had my doubts.
I have like a complicated because I don't think I like a lot of these movies. There's probably maybe a handful of them I like. But this
I think you like the ones that try a little harder, like Thor, Ragnarok.
Yeah, something with personality.
Mix it up that has a little personal flair.
This one felt like the kind of movies in the Marvel universe that I didn't like, but somehow I still liked it. Like
just because it's brand new.
Yeah.
Because everything else was kind of like structure, story, same thing. Yeah. Like, you could put fucking Thor 2 next to fucking, like, Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
well, Ant-Man had a little bit more going on than the first 2 Thor movies. I guess we should get to probably the biggest spoiler in this.
Which is what? The death! Man. I'm sorry, man, but they were handing out death like Oprah was handing out cars. Shit.
So, like, if you're watching this, you've seen it. You know what happens at the end.
And if you read the comic books, you know. You would
be surprised on how many people say they're Marvel fans and they don't read the comic books.
That's true.
Or like I know of the characters, I know their histories, but I don't read the fucking comic books.
And plus one, it shouldn't be a surprise if people are dying because it's called war. Hello.
But I thought
hello, Felicia.
I thought it was creative in the way that they did it because it was so cold. It was cold-blooded.
So silent.
Yeah. And he just snaps his fingers. That's it. No fight. No big nothing. It's just, all right, y'all dead. And then they were all dead. I don't know if they did it on purpose, but at first, like, the people who don't have to be there died. And I was like, because who dies first?
Vision, right? He gets his stone pulled out.
No. I mean, like, the death. Because he just gets... death. Thanos kills him. But I mean, with the snapping finger.
Snap. Oh, with the dust?
I think it was Bucky. And I was like, all right, well, you've been good, but... And then someone else died that was a side character. I was like...
One of the Wakanda women.
Yeah, it was like, hey, you know what? See you later.
And then... Chad Bosewick.
Oh, yeah. And then Black Panther dies, and I was like, wait a minute. Y'all just made all that money last month. Or what was that? 2 months ago. So now I was like, oh, this is for real.
The one that affected me the most, I have to say it. I just have to say it. Spider-Man.
That was brilliant.
Oh my God. When he's gone, he says, I feel funny. And then he grabs Iron Man. I'm just like,
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And that's fucked up because now Tony's feels even more responsible for this.
Yeah.
So it just was like heartbreaking. And there's no music. It's just, the way that they did that ending was so gratifying, and that every mistake that I felt they made before that was rectified because it was so good. However, I think I told you this. I hate that we know every fucking movie that's gonna happen in the next 2 years because it's clearly they're not dead forever. Like when they do those D23 expos and they announce all the movies. There's a Spider-Man 2 next year. There's a Black Panther 2 next year. So it's sort of like it undercut the emotion of that a little bit for me when I thought about it a little more.
Yeah,
because it was like
true, but we also have to kind of understand that we don't know the time frame of the
those
other
movies.
films
That's
too,
true.
because this film is 2 years after the last incident.
That's true.
So it plays because also Captain Marvel is set in the 90s. So,
but now that makes more sense to me. I was wondering why because they announced that it was in the 90s a year ago. And I was like, that's weird, but that ain't no movie to be had in this time period.
I would say it was still so effective. Like you said, that silence just killed, dude. It killed.
And then the last part is where he's just sitting on the hill, just pleased with himself, and then just say, "Okay, the movie's over." I was like, "This is some shit. This is some fucking shit." Also, at the end, we get a little
glimpse
of what's coming. So Samuel Jackson's dead too.
I kind of love what they did.
Yeah,
with him, he was like, "Mother."
Of course,
Sammy.
it was like, of course, when they showed that, I was like, oh, "Okay, yeah." But he pulls out a pager,
and he hits it, and it says
Captain Marvel.
Well, her little symbol comes up. So.
Yeah, I don't know much about her. Does she do anything in this story in the comics? Is she a savior for everyone, or what?
She has the power, like she's connected to the cosmic Marvel, so she's connected to the universes and everything. So her power comes from, it's similar to like Quasar. It's like it's the energy within the universe.
Girl, I don't know anything you just said. But yeah, that makes me more excited to see that movie because I was just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
About Captain Marvel.
And I'm really excited for Brie Larson too.
But overall, this is fucking fantastic. This thing they built.
Yeah, I want to go see it again. Like I'm willing to go like today.
Yeah.
Because I just want to see why it worked for me. Yeah. Like that's what I really want to see it. Like the first time we saw it, it was like fans seeing it, and the second one I want to see it like why did it work?
Why do you think these work and the Justice League movies don't work? Or other
simple reason
cinematic universe movies?
Simple reason is because these characters are fleshed out.
Yes.
And their emotion is coming from a deep understanding of what the character is trying to do.
They're people.
DC Universe is running very surface level.
Yeah.
So like, and also like, I don't think Warner Brothers spends enough on their fucking CGI.
No. To me, I was thinking about this in the shower as I was masturbating today, and I thought,
Jesus.
like, why do I feel like this is a superior movie just in terms of movies in general? Because we always talk about how movies are becoming so stupid, and movies is just sort of like just a cash cow. You just throw some CGI and throw some basic story, which some of Marvel movies are like that. But what's the difference between that and this? And it's from what I always say, and I hate to toot my own horn, but I always say you don't have to make movies dumb for people to understand it. If they understand it, if it's good and you show that you gave a fuck and you gave effort,
that's what I was gonna
people
say.
will come.
People will come.
You don't have to make Independence Day 4. You don't have to make a Tyler Perry movie. Tyler Perry. You can still make money from toy. Look, Disney is a business. This is a business. I'm not being naive. You can do all that stuff, but at the heart of it, even when they don't succeed at it in these movies, you know they're trying. And I think that's the difference. And I wish that more movies are becoming like that, because most successful movies this year were like A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thinkers and like slow paced.
Or it don't even have to be a thinker. It can just be if it was some sort of goal you were trying to accomplish, except for make a movie so I can get my dick sucked. You know what I mean? And smoke and snort cocaine. You just have to have a core, and I miss that from when I look at older decades of movies. 70s, where you have Godfather was a hit, a smash hit, or you have like Apocalypse Now, and in the 80s with Steven Spielberg and George Lucas and Zemeckis. Mm-hmm. And I always felt like in our time, our modern time, we're missing those movies, but it made me think, no, they're there. They're Marvel. That's where they are. And so I'm tired of comic book movies, but if this is where you'll get quality forward-thinking entertainment, then I'm for it.
But I don't have anything else to say. I really don't. Like,
guys, it was really good.
Just go see the film. It's been 10 years. I think We've been riding this fucking train for so long. We already exploded. So,
Yo. Hopefully we get a long break. Like there's nothing in Ant-Man. Yeah. I just want like a break. So I don't have to talk about these movies no more until we get to next year. Well, that's it, guys. You won't be seeing me for Deadpool. I don't know what you're gonna do for that, but I'm gone. I'm out of town.
I'll put a little candle to represent
What's it? La Lorena?
you.
The little Mexican candle with the land shit. But I'll probably be back for Solo. That comes out the 25th. So I'll be back of May. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll see you guys in May. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.